Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Louis Sports Network. Man, definitely appreciate y'all. Second straight video in the building. Make sure before we get started, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure your post notifications are turned on. Make sure you're sharing on your social media platforms. Truly appreciate it. Peace and blessings to everybody. Hope everybody is enjoying their Saturday night, enjoying their weekend. On to the video. So, I know I just talked about Kawhi's sister, but that's off the court. Now let's talk about on the court. Kawhi Leonard, who is one of my favorite players. Kawhi Leonard is my favorite player who I like to currently watch in the NBA. With that being said, Kaloadmanagement and Quitoff P need to no longer be on the Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi Leonard needs to retire because his body's breaking down. And Paul George needs to get traded because he has shown me that he is not reliable, just as much as Kawhi Leonard. And I know that Steve Ballmer is gonna be probably wishing and thinking that he probably is gonna try to squeeze out one more year with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. But let's face it, this Clippers experiment has been a massive failure. The best record that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard both had was their very first year together, 49-23, number 2 seed in the Western Conference. What happened? They took all those months off. Kawhi Leonard was looking anorexic when they came into the bubble. They blew that 3-1 lead because they almost lost in the first round to Luka and the Mavs. But they blew a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets in the bubble. Paul George made excuses. Kawhi Leonard actually held himself accountable, but Paul George made excuses. Was blaming about Doc Rivers stuff, and Doc Rivers doesn't obviously get a pass, or should I say Glenn Rivers. But anyway, Paul George should be held more accountable just because you played in that game. Like, Doc didn't tell you to miss off the side of the backboard, so that's on you, Paul George. Anyway, getting back to Quitoff P. 2021, the Clippers look like they're making a run, and they're looking like the best team. What happens? I know that they went 7 games with the Mavs, but let's see what happens. Kawhi Leonard partially tears his ACL. They go to the Western Conference Finals with a Game 5 performance from Paul George, and then in Game 6, he played terrible. Terrence Mann stepped up and had one of those unbelievable games. They go to the Western Conference Finals. They lose that series in 6 games where Paul George was too inconsistent, which told me that he's not a leader and he cannot carry a team to an NBA Finals or win a championship as a number 1 option. Can't do it. Then Kawhi Leonard misses all of the 2021-2022 season with a partially torn ACL. I would understand if it was a full tear, but it was a partial tear, but he missed all that. And Paul George was in and out of the lineup due to injuries that season too. Clippers missed the playoffs. No, actually no. Clippers were able to they made the play-in, but they got eliminated. They were competitive. Then you got this year. Paul George and Kawhi missing time due to injuries. They get Russell Westbrook in a trade. Not in a trade. They signed him after he was traded to Utah, then waived. The Clippers from top to bottom, when you look at their team, Mason Plumlee and Norman Powell and Zubac, after they lost Luke Kennard, they get Bones Highland. You look at their team from top to bottom, they can win an NBA championship. They can make a deep playoff run. But the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, your best ability is availability. And Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, that has been their biggest problem as to why they have been a massive failure. The 3-1 lead, a Western Conference Final banner appearance, but that's it. That's it. And that happened without Kawhi Leonard because he was out in the second round in Game 4 of the 2021 playoffs. Now, it's unfortunate because Kawhi Leonard has a knee issue, and now his sister is being convicted of murder. So this is all really bad timing. But like I said, I got to say this, and I cannot give them a pass, okay? It's unfortunate that Kawhi's got a right knee injury because it's frustrating because this guy is one of the top 3 to 5 players in the NBA when he is fully healthy. But the problem is he has not been available, and I have to call his ass out on it. Kaloadmanagement, I'm sorry, bud. You need to retire because your body looks like it's failing you, and I know you're trying, but I'm sorry. Too much of the medical staff history between you and the Spurs in your last season when you missed out with that whole hamstring injury that Tony Parker called you out on because he had a worse injury. He had the same injury, but it was a lot worse than what you had, and you came in more time. And then you missed 20 games with the Raptors because you were allowed to low manage during that season. And then you've been getting preferential treatment ever since you came to the Clippers. So Kawhi Leonard, Kaloadmanagement, no excuses. I enjoy watching you play when you're on the floor, but I'm sorry. You got to get called out on this. This era is the bigger, stronger, faster era, but we see guys get injured. We see guys sit out of games. So I'm trying to figure out where this narrative is coming from. Because also, when you really think about it, we don't have a lot of great big men in the NBA. We don't. We have very few. Because they would be part of that bigger, stronger, faster argument, but we don't have a lot. We got Joel Embiid, who is crying for an MVP, but now he's hurt and can't really stay on the floor. We got Nikola Jokic, who is one of the best centers in the NBA, arguably the best center in the NBA. Karl Anthony Towns, who has all the talent in the world, but let's face it, the guy plays scared and he can't lead your team to a championship as your number one option. So that desire, that heart, and that will to win, it's just not there anymore. So even with Kawhi, so people that are saying, Kawhi, he's kind of looking like Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy's prime was even shorter than Kawhi Leonard's. So we can't even compare that. And then people are like, oh man, Kawhi Leonard, he's got a legitimate injury. Oh, and his sister, she's going to jail, but Michael Jordan got praised when his father died. Ladies and gentlemen, when Michael's father died, he died during the offseason of '93 in July. Michael Jordan came off a championship season, a three-peat. He won his third straight NBA championship. Kawhi Leonard has 2 NBA titles, but he hasn't won jack shit with the Clippers at all. So for people criticizing Michael Jordan, whatever theory that you may have, whatever you may believe, it's fine. But at least with Michael, he won a championship before that happened and he decided to retire. Michael came off a three-peat. He just won his third straight championship. Kawhi Leonard has not reached the NBA Finals in a Clipper uniform. So don't make the comparison. That makes no damn sense. But like I said before, Steve Ballmer invested in that Great Western Forum where the Lakers used to play as his new arena coming up. And you really have no superstars to really sell tickets off of. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Kaloadmanagement, Quitoff P. It's time that the Clippers blow it up. It's time the Clippers blow it up. Hate to say it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. As always, bless up of this video. Bless up, live, laugh, love. Thank you guys for watching.